What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader, also known as John, coming back to you with a video. I just received 16 items back from Collector Archive Services, all graded, and we've got quite the mashup of different items. We have everything from vintage collection, modern stuff, to some mint-on card Kenners, to a few autographed items, and a few loose graded items. And so let's just dig in. Before I start this video, I wanted to give a special shout out to a subscriber, both on my YouTube channel as well as on Instagram. His name is Conception Studios. He is an awesome dude, and he and his family are in California, and apparently there's a massive wildfire there in California. 350,000 acres have burned so far, and he had to evacuate with his family. Everything is fine. His family's safe. His house is safe. So I just wanted to let you know I was thinking about you, and I enjoy our conversations very much, and you're a great guy. And Conception Studios over on Instagram. He's got just an amazing Instagram page. Okay, so let's go ahead and dig right in. We're going to start with the big boxed items first. Let's see what we got here. The first item is a vintage collection Mandalorian Imperial Troop Transport. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you've already seen a lot of these items, but I just thought you'd like to take a look at them now that they've actually arrived. But this is the Mandalorian Troop Transport. I love that Jon Favreau, the director or producer or whatever, decided to do a lot of fan service, and they brought this Mandalorian Troop Transport into the show. A nice nod, a nice homage to the toy, the vintage toy. So looks really awesome. This is just a really cool item. I know I'm crazy to grade this, but that's what I did. It came back with a 90 grade. You can see there, I'm leaving it in the poly bag because I've got so much stuff that I have to stack this stuff. So I'm trying to protect the case. But vintage collection, Mandalorian and Mandalorian Troop Transport. And here's the side of the box here. I'm trying to go a little bit slower. I've had complaints from certain subscribers that I go through these too fast, but what a really cool item. I love the box art and very happy to add that one to my collection. I'm probably the only person insane enough to grade vintage collection vehicles, but that's what we did. And here is the other big boxed item. This is the Rogue One Imperial Combat Assault Tank. This one turned out beautiful as well. It came back also with a 90 grade. It's crazy. Everything in this batch is 85, 85 plus, 90, or 95. Believe it or not. I got my first 95 grade item back from grading. So we'll go through it. But what an awesome piece of box art there. I absolutely love this. You guys remember this from Rogue One. It was a great scene in Jeddah where they were ambushed and they were carrying the Kyber crystals and so forth. We got the Imperial, I guess this is the Imperial assault tank drivers here. Blacked Out Ewoks also on YouTube just got one of these graded, the Imperial Assault Tank Commander. So there's actually two of them. But these, I think, are both the drivers. They don't have the insignia on the chest piece, but what an awesome item. And it came back with a 90. Two big, ridiculous items, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but it is what it is. Next, we got a Parker Brothers. This is a video game, a 1983 Star Wars Return of the Jedi Death Star Battle video game. This is for the Atari home computer, so not for the 2600. This also did come out for the Atari 2600. I'm gonna start yet another line that I'm gonna casually collect, and that's gonna be sealed video games. There are a number of video games for the Atari 2600. You got the Jedi Academy Training Simulator. You have The Empire Strikes Back, and you have this game, the Death Star Battle. I think there's also Star Wars Arcade was the original that came out in 81 or 82, but this is one of the later releases, but this is a sealed 1983 example for the Atari home computer. Really cool, and it came back with an 85 grade. You can see there all the ones it was included for. Look at those graphics. Man, this is not the Xbox 360 or the Xbox One. This was old school. And it turned out really nice. And let's see if I can find the label. Here's the label. Oop, upside down. And here's the label. Came back with an 85 grade. So this is probably the least expensive of the ones that are out there. You can find Some of the other games can go for several hundreds of dollars depending on condition. So that was a good start. It's an inexpensive start to the collection of video games, but hopefully I can get some more over time. Next we have the 1997 Biggs Darklighter, and he is signed by the actor who portrayed him in the original Star Wars. His name is Garrick Higson, and here is the label on it. It came back with an 85. This is the Signature Series, where James Spence Authentication, JSA, authenticates the autograph and then grades the item, so it came back with an 85 plus. The card got a 90, the blister an 85, and the figure got a 90. So 85 plus grade. Really cool. Really cool. There's the autograph there. He's a pretty prolific signer, so this is not a very difficult figure to find, but this has got the freeze frame action slide. So really nice. And so that's that. The other autographed item that I received is one that I've been wanting to add to the collection for a while. This is the Darth Vader freeze frame action slide Darth Vader with a removable helmet. I've got this one graded already, unsigned, but I figured I'd go ahead and add the signed version. So Dave Prowse signed this one. You can see where he's kind of did it at a weird angle, but I actually kind of like that. But there he is, Dave Prowse as Darth Vader. And this one came back with an 85. The card got an 85, the blister got an 85, and the figure got a 90. So what an awesome item. It's really nice to have this. I got one more Darth Vader signed item in grading as well. So that is that. We also got, in 2007-ish time frame, there were a line of these 2-packs that included a Dark Horse comic, and it came with 2 very stylized figures in each pack. And so I picked 2 of the less expensive ones to start with. Hopefully I can add some more, but a number of these go for quite a bit of money. There's one called Open Season that goes for over $600 ungraded. But this one has Governor Tarkin. So this is before he became Grand Moff Tarkin, and you can see the side there. That's really cool. And then it also came with a Stormtrooper, but I just like it because it's so stylized. You can see how stylized that trooper is with kind of the blue shadows, and that just looks really awesome. So this is a comic 2-pack. I believe it came out in 2007. Dark Horse Comics, and this is number 2, comic number 2, but comic pack number 3. And here is the label on it. Yeah, 2007. My camera decides to not focus. There we go. 2007, 30th anniversary comic 2-pack. Governor Tarkin and Stormtrooper, and it came back with a 90. Straight 90s across the board. And that's kind of what the back looks like. It's got some other waves or other items in the wave behind the certificate of authenticity. I'm sorry I haven't taken some of these out. It's just I've been working my tail off. And I've actually had this batch for over a day now, and I'm now having a chance to enjoy looking at it. So the other 2-pack I got is comic pack number 11, and this is also Dark Horse. And this one has a very stylized Anakin Skywalker along with an assassin droid. That assassin droid is hot. Look at that cone-shaped head. How cool does he look? So there's Anakin, and then it says assassin droid, and you can see how he looks on the side there. But what a cool figure. What a cool figure. I love the way that looks. This one also came back with a 90 with Anakin Skywalker and Assassin Droid, 90, 90, 95. So very high score item there. Really cool. So I love these comic packs. I mean, you know, like I said, I started with 2 that were relatively easy to find, but you can start spending a boatload of money if you want to on some of those. Some of those are just insanely expensive. One other item that I did get that I've mentioned possibly is this one. This is the Retro Collection Hoth Ice Planet Adventure board game, and it came packed in with Luke Snowspeeder, kind of done in the Retro Collection style that has been coming out in waves. But what's cool about this one is that he's got kind of the yellow visor, and it's kind of the first appearance of Luke in his Snowspeeder gear. And I went ahead and got the whole board game graded. You can see the faux weathering around it. I have the original of this board game sealed and graded by AFA. It's an AFA 80. I believe it came out in 1980 or 82, somewhere in there. And I got that one on a whim. And so when this came out, I was like, I need to go ahead and get this to, it mimics very, very closely the original. And I just decided it would be kind of cool to have both of them, both the modern and the vintage version of this graded. So this came back with an 85 plus. What a cool item though. And it just turned out awesome. I love the fact that they do a little window here for the figure. And I don't have the Death Star Escape game, but I'd like to get that one at some point. I think that one came packed with a retro collection version of Grand Moff Tarkin. So at least I got this one though. Turned out really nice. So that is that. And let's see what else we got. I got a few vintage collection mint on cards. These are just a few I had purchased using credit card points during a lot of this stuff. Really, almost all of this stuff I purchased during the COVID lockdown when my wife was furloughed, not making any money, and I wasn't making any money, but I had a bunch of credit card points built up. So I took advantage of those points that I had never used, and just certain retailers were allowing you to use those credit card points. So I took advantage of it and bought Star Wars figures. I figured if I can't spend any money, I might as well use some points. So that's where a lot of these came from. But anyway, this is Enfys Nest on the vintage collection card. What an awesome piece of card back, and the figure itself is just incredible. I just love this figure. And this one came back with a 90. Let's see if I can get it to focus a little better here. I don't know why it's not auto-focusing. Card got a 90, the blister got a 90, figure got a 95. So it's a very solid 90 score. But look at that figure. I just love that soft goods cape and all the accessories. That card art is just second to none though. I love it. Looks amazing. So beautiful card. And so that was a really nice high-end, high-grade figure. And I've got a few others here. I've got a bunch in grading still, but in terms of this batch, I've got the Scarif Trooper. This one turned out beautiful. I love the card art on this one as well. This one came back with a 90. Card got a 90. Blister got a 90. Figure got a 95, so also a very solid 90 score. But that is a beauty. That is a beauty. So, so once the COVID lockdown got lifted and my wife was back working again, I just had all these built up, and I just decided to send them in. Okay, I got my first 95. This is my first ever 95 grade item. This is Dr. Aphra from, I believe, Star Wars Rebels, but I could be wrong. I just love the card art on it, and I just thought it looked cool. I tend to gravitate towards the women characters on a lot of these modern figures. I just think they look so awesome. But this is my first ever 95 grade item. You can see how she looks there. Just a beautiful figure. Really nice sculpt. Love the card art. And that's Dr. Aphra. And there's the 95 score. So came back with a card of 90, blister 95, figure 95. So I just eked out a 95 score. It's my first ever time getting one. And yes, it's modern, but I don't care. A 95 score is awfully cool to have. I've just never had one. Okay, and then I've got a couple of vintage items, vintage mint on cards, that I've had for a little bit, and I went ahead and sent in this batch once I had some moolah to get them graded. So I'm going to take this one out because this one's going up with all my other vintage Kenner mint on cards. As you guys have probably remember, one of my favorite card backs on the original Kenner line is the Revenge of the Jedi stickers. Those came back, I believe, those came on the 45C, and there might have been a B, I can't remember. One's printed, one is printed to the card, one is just a sticker on the card. But this one is a 45C Cloud Car Pilot. I've already got one Cloud Car Pilot in my collection. I believe it's a 65 back. But this one is absolutely gorgeous. Clear bubble. Both accessories are still taped to the inside of the bubble. Just awesome. I love that Revenge of the Jedi sticker. This is one of my absolute favorite card backs from the entire line for whatever reason. And this one came back with a beautiful high score of an 85. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on, little guy. There we go. 1982 Kenner Star Wars 48 back C Cloud Car Pilot. The card, the blister, and the figure all got straight 85s. So cannot ask for much more than that. What a beautiful item. Unpunched. Straight as an arrow. And definitely a great addition. So it's kind of nice to have two different card backs for this figure. I I just really like that figure a lot, and they keep creeping up in price. Boss Bounty mentioned this on his channel, is that even loose, not graded. I mean, these figures are starting to just go crazy because of the accessories and how difficult they are to find. So that is one. I'm going to leave him right there to give you guys some wonderful eye candy while I take the other one out of the poly bag. And this is another line of figures that Blacked Out Ewoks and I talked about in my last live stream. You can look on it on my channel. We talked for about an hour on foreign card backs, and there's not a lot of inexpensive options for those of you on a budget that want to collect foreign vintage mint on card Kenner figures on a foreign card back, but this is one of them. And you know, you got Made in Mexico Lily Letty's for the US market, and then you also have another option is Kenner Canada figures, and then this one. This is a Sakuda Japanese import sticker card back of Squidhead, and he's got just a very faint bit of yellowing, so it did get a yellow score, but that is super common for these Sakudas. The Sakuda bubbles are extremely fragile, and they usually get very, very yellow, but this one was a wonderful example that I found, unpunched, beautiful card, and it was at auction, and it had a buy it now price of like $100. I think it was like $115. It might have been a little bit more than that. I can't remember. But instead of letting it go to auction, I went ahead and nabbed it because it's one I've been wanting. I've got another Sakuda, which is a low gray, but this squid head is just beautiful. You can see just a very faint bit of yellowing on the bubble, but what an awesome item. Look at that card back. I love those eyes, man. Unpunched, and it came back with an 85, yellowed 85. Straight 85s across the board, very solid 85 score. So this was money well spent. Now, the reason I got it is I've got another one just like this that has the Japanese writing on the back. And so it's a sticker that goes over top, I guess like an import sticker for Sakuda. Sakuda, you can see down here in the bottom part, Sakuda original, made in Hong Kong. But there's a number of figures in this line, the most expensive being the Yodas and the Vader are the two most expensive. Very difficult to find those. So those are that. And then I've got 3 loose graded, and then I'll be out of your hair. I got another squid head right here. And this is just a Hong Kong squid head. Pretty standard figure. I had one that had a broken AFA case that I got for a pretty good deal. And so I sent it in to Collector Archive just to get it recased. It came back with the exact same score, which is an 85. A 2-line Hong Kong squid head, 85. So very nice. Looks good, and now he won't rattle around because of the broken peg in the AFA case. I like those J hooks a lot better. So that's one, and then I've got 2 other loose graded figures. The next one is 2-1B Medical Droid. This is the semi-metallic paint scheme. So there's a flat finish. There is I think a semi-gloss finish, and then the semi-metallic, which is what this is. Really nice figure. This one came back with an 85 semi-metallic blue paint. So I've seen like swirls. I've seen all kinds of different paint schemes for these 2-1B droids, but I really like this. The only other one I've got in my collection is a Spanish Puck, early Spanish figure that's UKG 80. But so this is another one to add to the collection. I got this figure, I'm not kidding, I got this figure for $14, which I think is a pretty fair deal considering it came with the accessories and it graded so high. So I'll take that all day long. $14 plus grading. And next thing you know, you got a nice high grade 2-1B droid. And then the last one is the parting shot of glory. This is a General Madine, but this is the Lily Letty General Madine. A very difficult figure to find. I mean, you know, you can find them, but finding them in this grade, not so much. It came back with a 90 score. Lily Letty General Madine. It's a 2-line LFL Hong Kong, but a 90 grade. It's very difficult to tell this apart other than looking at the face and looking at the accessory. The accessory is like a softer, I could be getting it wrong, but I think this one has the off-white and the softer sculpt to the accessory. I might have it backwards. I cannot remember. But but just an awesome figure. And it came back with just an amazing score. Look at that figure. It is just as mint as it gets. And, you know, it's very difficult to tell this one apart from just the standard Hong Kong, other than looking at the face. The face has got kind of a lighter paint scheme to it versus some of the others. There's a Hong Kong, there's a no COO, there's a Taiwan. You got green hair, you got molded face, painted face. So there's a number of different variants for this guy. But I've got, I think, a Taiwan painted face that looks completely different than this one. So at some point I'll do a video. Also, I am on the Twitter. I am a twit. I like to be a twit. At AFG on YouTube. At AFG on YouTube is my Twitter handle. So I just started that. I don't know anything about Twitter. I probably will screw up and like tweet something stupid, but forgive me, okay? And at the end of this video, I will also include photos, as usual, from Collector Archive Services. And during that exit strategy, you will see a link to my Instagram page. If you ever want to see these items before I do the unboxing, I usually post one a day before the big reveal video. And so that is another option for you, Instagram and the twit. So thank you for watching, and I will be back soon.